Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the oxidative phosphorylation, which I emphasize a lot in other videos. This is where a lot of ATPs are made, and it's actually made up two steps. The first step is electron transport chain you see up here, which comprise a series of proteins where the electron can flow down the flow down, and we also have chemiosmosis that allows the ADP and phosphate to combine to become ATP. Well, let's first talk about the electron transport chain. The better illustration is down here. We have complex 1, 2, 3, 4, and also it's made up a lot of different enzymes. The key enzyme I would like to specify is the Q here, the ubiquinone. It's probably the most abundant uh, enzyme in the earth. If I'm not mistaken, it's definitely a lot. And then we also have a cytochrome C that is also present in the plant electron transport chain. Oh, another thing about ubiquinone in Q here is that they can move around and it's not protein. Yeah, it's like a coenzyme. So as you can see on the vertical axis in this diagram, the free energy is losing, right, as the electrons flow down. But what's important is that we create a lot of proton gradient in the intermembrane space that allows creating ATPs. But then final electron acceptor you must remember is oxygen. Remember that oxygen is very electronegative, and it's gonna try to grab that electrons and form water. And that's why you can see the water is a byproduct of cellular respiration. And in this process, the even FADH2 is being oxidized, and these electrons are finally grabbed by the oxygen. So moving back, let me talk about the chemiosmosis. So once we create a lot of proton gradient in the intermembrane space, and they will try to flow down the concentration gradient, and which allows the rotation of this ATP synthase protein. Okay, so you see that ATP synthase here, which can be more accurately illustrated on the right side. So this proton will stick to the rotor, which acts as a placeholder, and then as it rotates, these proton ions will diffuse down into the matrix of the mitochondria, and in that process it will combine the ADP with the phosphate, just the way how substrate level phosphorylation helps with the enzyme. Okay, but since we are dealing with the oxidation and also a lot of cellular respiration, we just specifically call oxidative phosphorylation. So that's how we create a lot of ATP. Remember from the earlier steps, the NADH and FADH, a lot of those guys were made, and this is where we use those potential energy to make a lot of ATPs, where the cell organelles can use those to do proper work.